Yeah, it was really, the result was probably fair because we played so poorly, but in the end of the day, the process was unusual. I know we'll be taking that up with Cricket Australia, the process side of it, but it was a bit of a farce in the end.
Were you informed about what was going on? I mean, through that whole break, did you know what was happening?
I think that was where a lot of the confusion came. It happened. Everything seemed to happen so quickly. All of a sudden, it's pouring with rain, and then the next minute, okay, we're back on, and everyone's sort of not running for cover, but trying to work out what was going on. But as I said, the result was a fair one because we didn't play very well, but the process was unusual.
Do you think they should have come off during the Scorchers batting innings when the rain was coming down a little bit heavy, especially when Malinga was just taking wickets?
Yeah, well, that's another side of it as well. I think because it rained for so long, and it kept, it was drizzling for a long time. Then we had that heavy downpour. It meant that the wicket also was subjected to a lot of, there was a lot of moisture on the wicket. So, and then the covers came off, and then we were straight back out there with 1 minute to go or something. So, I know that there's been a directive from Cricket Australia to ensure we play as much as we can for the fans and for TV and all that, and that's that's a positive thing that we're playing cricket. But it did seem to be a lot of rain that we were playing in last night.
Safety's got to be an issue too.
Well, that's paramount, of course. I mean, it's a big business now. We've got to be careful with our fast bowlers in the field. So in the end of the day, safety is probably the most important part of it.
Was that a weird thing going for that ball? Clearly it was on a safe surface after 90 minutes of rain. Why did they force you to go in?
Well, that's the question of the process. It was sort of, as I said, Barra, it happened so quickly, and then they said we're going to bowl one ball to get a result. That's something that we need to be more clear and have clered up over the next few days.
Did you think you were hearing things when he said one ball?
Yep, I did think I was hearing things when I said that one ball, but in the end of the day, and it's not a cliche, we've got to respect the officials and the umpires and the referees. So, and that's the decision they came to. So there's nothing we can do about the result. The Stars have got the 2 points now. Nothing we can do about it. Get on with it, smile, and make sure we play better next time.
You feel for the fans, sort of still bad.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think the fans were waiting around. The cricket lovers, they would have loved to have seen, if it's going to be 5 overs, I imagine they're to see 5 overs, not to. That's again where the confusion came. One ball, shake hands, walk off for a result. That seemed a bit strange, but as I said, it's probably as clear to, well, maybe not. I don't think there's much clarity on what happened last night with the fans, certainly from our point of view. So we'll hopefully get that cleared up in the next few days.
Despite the conditions, how disappointed were you with the batting performance?
Yeah, I was extremely disappointed. Obviously, Malinga is a superstar 2020 cricketer, but we had really good plans. Well, we'd prepared well to counter Malinga. I'm going to keep saying this for a long time, that our players will only get better by playing the best. So I'm glad we got a chance to play Warney last night, Malinga. The Stars have got an excellent bowling lineup. And we weren't up to scratch, so we've got to get better at that. If we want to get better individually and collectively, we've got to make sure that we play a lot better against the best players.
What went wrong though with the batting? Was it just Malinga and the conditions, or was it something from your side?
Well, the Scorchers are different than than Western Warriors, but there's some trends developing where we really have to address how our batting's going. So whether that's technical, whether that's mental, that's something that we've got to build a foundation so it doesn't keep happening. So if it was just a one-off, I said it after the Shield game in Tassie, if it was a one-off, you say, it's a one-off poor performance, but there's a trend developing that we've got to get better with our batting. So that's an exciting challenge for all of us. In the end of the day, the reality is in any good sporting team, any good cricket team, the senior players have to bear the brunt of the majority of the performance. So no, they're senior players. So from my point of view, I'm not going to panic about our senior players, but they'll work it out. That's why they've both played so much international cricket. They're expected. There's high expectation on senior players to perform. That hasn't changed. It's not going to change. So, but I'm sure they'll reassess where they're at over the next few days. There's a reason why they've been really good players, and we'll be expecting big things from them for the rest of the series.
Is there more work to be done than you actually anticipated when you're taking on the job now that you're in it?
Oh, for me, that's the really exciting thing about it. If things all looked nice and honky dory on the surface, and we're playing like we've sort of played for a lot of this season, I'd be really worried. But yeah, there's some really glaring areas we can get better at. So for me, that's the exciting thing, not the disappointing thing.
I think I'm okay now.
Okay.
Sean, how's he travelling and will he be back to
Yeah, I think so. He had a very minor strain. With the rain around last night, we just couldn't risk him going at 100%. I'm not going to look at you because I'm going to start laughing.
When's he going to play? Is he going to play this weekend?
Yeah, well, we're very hopeful he'll be ready to play in Sydney on Sunday. So he's such an important part of the team for us. He's a great 2020 player. He showed in the first game that how important he is to us at the top of the order. We're just hopeful his leg recovers and he'll be ready to go.
The younger bloke? Or?
Well, I think Mitchell Stark. He bowled really. He's a great prospect. I mean, he's a fantastic bowler, and someone has to miss out. I mean, we saw there was a lot of conjecture about Peter Siddle and Ben Hilfenhaus missing out in the third Test match. They both have to come back, I guess, because they've been the senior bowlers. Someone has to miss out. Be disappointed for Mitch, but I'm sure he'll be glad to be back in the squad and have played that Test match last week.